Harden.
They have Bosch and they have Harden, but at the same time though, Oklahoma City, you can still get some points from Collison does the dirty work for them.
Collison's a big dirty. But I kind of even him out with Udonis Haslem.
Okay, but then you still got. I think Ibaka can stick Bosch.
My biggest thing is I wouldn't put Ibaka on Bosch. I would put Ibaka on LeBron James.
No, that's a mismatch.
You really think so? Because Ibaka's athletic enough.
No,
he's 6'9".
Speed.
Well, we all have seen LeBron James not go to the hole in the playoffs. He likes to tend to be on the perimeter.
No, he has been in the perimeter playoffs, but you got to remember this year's Miami squad though. In the regular season, Wade and LeBron have only shot 1 3-pointer combined so far in the first half of the season.
We'll see what happens in the playoffs because it changes. They get scared going and get hit down low. It's easy to be up 10-15 and not have to shoot threes. But when it starts being close games, you want to hit the home run ball.
I agree. This is Real Sports Talk Chicago right here with my boy. This Juice Man right here with my man Dex. We're about to go to commercial break real quick. Coming up next, we're gonna discuss college basketball real quick.
NCAA tournament right around the corner.
Right around the corner. You never know who's gonna win. Will there be another Cinderella, Dex?
No.
Hey, the fans will find out when we come back on. This is Real Sports Talk Chicago right here.
Get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Wednesday is Wings Day. 10 boneless wings, fries, and your choice of ranch or blue cheese for $5.99. Wing-a-ding-dang. 17060 Torrance Avenue, Lansing, Illinois, 60438.
So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
How can you have a Super Bowl party without food and beer? Black Bear Ale is the best tasting beer in the United States. You know when you had a Black Bear Ale because their black bottle is distinct. It is brewed near scenic shores of Lake Michigan. Did I mention that Black Bear Ale is a division of Redwall Industries? For more information, check the website at blackbearale.com. Remember, Black Bear Ale is a bear of a brew. Man, I just had a late night and now I have a long day ahead of me. I'm tired of always being in a rush when I wake up late. I just want a cup of coffee on my way to work. Filter Fresh Coffee System is just the thing I need. Filter Fresh supplies gourmet coffee blends from Van Noot, Coffee Roasters, Starbucks, Green Mountain, and others. Serves 100% Arabica coffees, regular and decaf. Filter Fresh also has Starbucks Interactive Brewer. I can have great coffee at work without a mess. All I have to do is press a button. Filter Fresh Coffee has systems for any size workplace. I can have great coffee at the office with a touch of a button. Filter Fresh has the latest in individual cup coffee systems. No pots, no filters, no mess. Filter Fresh also supplies teas, sodas, juice, paper goods, and more. I'm just one call away from having great coffee at work without a mess. For more information, call 1-847-699-60. Real Sports Talk Chicago right here. It's your boy Juice Man with my man
Dexter, how's everything going?
Dexter. NCAA basketball. The tournament's coming up. March. Well, it used to be called March Madness.
April Madness.
We might as well call it April Madness now.
Every year, later, and later.
I was thinking. I was sick this morning, so I was thinking in my bed. I was like, you know what? When the heck is the championship week? Because I'm thinking in my head, you know what? It's about to be March.
It used to be around April Fools, right?
Yeah, the championship used to be around
the
April
first,
Fools.
second, or the third.
Yeah, now
what is it this year?
Oh man, it might be the second week of April or third week of April.
Wow.
Just for the simple fact that championship week doesn't end until March 11th, which is a selection Sunday.
And then you're not starting the until the 13th or the 14th because they always give them a couple days.
Yeah, you got the playing games which start the 13th or whatever, and then the actual tournament starts
15th?
on the 15th.
So
payday.
So Thursday the 15th.
Thursday the 15th, payday. That's when the tournament starts.
That's crazy. So really, there's only 2 weeks of March Madness, and then you have 2 weeks of April Madness.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how the schedule.
Money. That tells you that it's all about money.
Are they playing more games this year than last year, or what is going on?
I think they've played more games this year. They're playing these freshmen and sophomores are playing almost 40 games a year now.
I guess they're really trying to get them NBA ready.
No, I really think these conferences are just trying to get as much money as they can.
Yeah, they talk about the Big East. Yes, West Virginia finally got to Big 12, but there was reports I think a couple weeks ago they're saying Pittsburgh and Syracuse may not be in the ACC to 2013.
Wow.
2014 season. So you're looking at next year because, the Big East is adding TCU, all this.
They're getting a couple football schools.
Okay, a couple football schools. You're looking at like a 20-team Big East conference.
It's ridiculous. It's too much. No conference should be that big. They're super conferences. They're all super conference. If you're gonna make it like this, have 4 or 5 super conferences of 20 teams, and then you cut it down, and out of those 20 teams, you get your 10. You get your teams of 64 because it's ridiculous. And most of all, what you're doing is you're watering down other conferences.
Yeah, I agree. My thing is they're watering down their own conference. Look at this, the Big East tournament. How the heck are you going to have a tournament with 20 teams? Like, what are you going to say? That only the top 16 teams can make the conference tournament?
It's dumb. And, you have these former powerhouses, the Providences, the St. John's, the DePauls right here from Chicago. They've disappeared. They're not even on the map. They're not even talked about. They're in these big conferences. It's like they're minimized to obscurity. It used to be you talked about DePaul, Providence, St. John's. You were talking about elite schools.
I agree.
We haven't even talked about Temple.
Well, Temple's joining the Big East. It's possible. There's talks of Temple joining the Big East now.
What? Let's just call them super conferences then.
We might as well. But my thing is like, okay, you just brought up good teams like Providence, DePaul, St. John's are.
Seton Hall.
Look at Villanova. After they lost their star guard player, they haven't really been.
They have not been that team. They were a Final Four team or contender for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and after that, of course, it was all hype or whatever.
You have to rebuild. I understand you have to rebuild, but there are certain teams that get to rebuild on the quicks, like the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Kansases. And then there's city teams like Temple, Villanova, DePaul, that they can't build that fast because all these good kids they all know it's going to be a super conference. So why am I going to go play for a bottom feeder team?
I agree. It's kind of sad. I'm waiting for the day when DePaul basketball can actually be good again.
I'm waiting for the day when they start paying players. I said it. Yes, I said it. Pay your players.
I need to. With the tournament coming up, we were talking off break about a couple teams. Okay, team I like to win it. I'm a Tar Heel guy. Kentucky's loaded.
I have Kentucky. I've been saying Kentucky since I saw Anthony Davis jump.
And you have was it Gilchrist?
Michael Gilchrist.
Michael Gilchrist, freshman sensation, was quoted on ESPN the other day saying he wants to stay 4 years at Kentucky and get that degree.
Are you serious?
He said that.
Yeah, he giving up that much money?
You look at it.
He's a lottery pick right now.
He's a lottery. Yes.
I wouldn't mind staying another year, but we're talking about 3 more years.
I agree. The thing with, I'm just saying, Harrison Barnes was a lottery pick last year. He decided to come back.
But Harrison Barnes really needed to retool his game.
So the same thing with Gilchrist.
No, I wouldn't mind staying another year. I'm not saying maybe another year. But 4, you're talking about 3 more years. Why? But if it's to get your degree and if it's to make yourself better, I would not mind it because it's better for the game of basketball, especially the college game. And when he goes to be pro, even because what do we see all the time now? We see that Allen Iverson's broke. Kenny Anderson broke.
How about I was reading an article, Pro Basketball Talk
Antoine
today.
Walker broke.
Our boy Delonte West, he was homeless.
Yeah. He was applying for Home Depot job.
No, he was actually homeless. The guy, he sold everything except for his house and car. I was reading a story. Apparently in the preseason or whatever, he was sleeping in the Mavs locker room.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like crazy right there.
It's because these guys are so uneducated. Go ahead, Gilchrist, do it. Get yourself educated so you can know what you need to do when you get out.
Well, I think in Delonte West's case, though, he's blaming it, though. He's also bipolar, though.
Yeah, he is a little.
And he's blaming because, you know what, the same thing. He said, okay, remember, he had a criminal thing. He got arrested with weapons possessions in 2009.
That's right.
He got a divorce, paying for lawyers and all that. That's just sapping money away from him. So
well, at least he's back in the league.
Yeah, he's back in the league. Like, he was saying he couldn't he was applying for homes, but he couldn't get in though because his record when when you got a criminal record, when you got a felony or whatever, it's hard for you to sometimes rent out, try to get apartments. Or it took Mark Cuban to find people to rent him an apartment.
That's rough.
And then we'll switch back to the tournament real quick. Okay.
But good for Gilchrist if he stays 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 3 years and gets a degree, because you can get your degree in 3 years.
Exactly. Like, you have the projected 1 seeds right now are Kentucky, Syracuse, Kansas, and Michigan State right now.
Is Michigan State?
Michigan
because they won. That's right.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, okay.
Michigan State, that's a Sweet 16 team.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just team of hard work and heart.
I was looking at the bracketology, Joel and Artie. Here's my thing. I think if Duke beats Carolina this weekend, Duke is a number 1.
They should be.
But the problem is with the NCAA as we know it, they're going off of geographic stuff when they see teams. And here's my issue with this, Dex. If Duke gets the number 1 seed, if they beat Carolina this weekend, right, they're going to be in the West. But at the same time, though, they won't be able to play a game in North Carolina, in the state of North Carolina, because right now what they have is the East and the South brackets right now. Both number 2 seeds play in North Carolina. So you're looking at Duke and North Carolina both possibly being number 2 seeds in the East and South. And once again, I can just see the NCAA putting Kentucky and Carolina in the same bracket once again, and one of those 2 teams will be going to the Final Four. What do you think about that?
I think it's hypocrisy. I don't think it's right. I don't think it should matter if you're playing in North Carolina or not. If you're number 1 seed, you're number 1 seed. You got to go play where you got to go play. Stop making excuses and stop making it easier for bigger teams.
True, but my thing is this, though. If Carolina and Kentucky, now I could be wrong, so I'm just going off of my head right now. If Carolina and Kentucky are in the same bracket once again, I believe this will be third time in 4 years that these 2 teams are in the same bracket, meeting in the Elite 8, with the winner deciding going to the Final Four.
And to me, they're the best 2 teams in college basketball. Or maybe not the 2 best teams, but they have 2 best, they're the most talented.
Yeah,
because Anthony Davis and Harrison Barnes, they're going 1 and 2. It's going to be very hard for someone to knock them out of 1 and 2 in the draft.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's hypocrisy. I don't agree. I just have a feeling,
the NCAA loves Duke. They just love Duke. They're going to make it easy for Duke to at least get to the Sweet 16. They do it every year. That's why they're always in the Sweet 16. They'll be a 4 or 5 seed, but they'll end up playing in North Carolina or close to home always to end up in the Sweet 16. I remember with J.J. Redick. Those J.J. Redick teams were not that good with Chris Duhon and all those cats, but they always ended up in the Sweet 16. Why don't you put them up against someone difficult or put them in a difficult bracket like the North Carolinas end up or the Kentuckys end up? Or I remember Pittsburgh, for years, Pittsburgh would get dogged. They would put them in the South.
Yeah. The South is, and that's the same bracket right now. They projected, they have Kentucky and North Carolina in that South bracket once again. My thing is this. Okay, the winner of the ACC, whether it's Duke or North Carolina, are you telling me they don't deserve a 1 seed over a Michigan State or Kansas?
Maybe not over Kansas. Kansas has been really good. You look at their strength of schedule, it's strong. Michigan State does not deserve it because the Big Ten is just down again this year.
I don't think it's down because the Big East right now is the second conference with the most teams in the tournament. They have a projected 17.